Hi guys, I'm Alicia and I'm coming to you today via video to talk about some tools that we can use when we're all feeling maybe a little anxious or overwhelmed, being thrown out of our normal routines during this global pandemic. I'm going to tell you a secret. It's everyone that's feeling a little bit outside of their bounds right now because we are, right? Like, this is a totally different situation than any of us are used to. And even though we can all find the positives and practice gratitude and all of the really important things, there still are probably going to be moments where the reality of how much your life has changed and maybe some of the things you're missing kind of crash down, right? And we've got some options in life. We can roll with that feeling and allow that to kind of take us away, like the feeling of being pulled out to sea by a really strong undertow. Or we can turn to some of the things available to us to work with our body and work with our minds, and be able to return ourselves to a place of calm where we can kind of continue from there and continue from there with a feeling of being centered and anchored rather than with that anxious feeling of being pulled away and pulled off your feet. So I'm actually going to be coming to you in a series of videos, and I wanted to do that because I wanted to break up what we're talking about into little bites, right? Because it's easier to absorb little bites, but also it's easier to come back to little bites, and to utilize the tools and refresh the tools if you don't have to fast forward through a bunch of stuff. So make note, we're starting this program at 2 minutes and about 15 seconds, so you can hop back into the active portion of this if you need to revisit it. So today I just wanted to talk about a few breath tools. I like to think about breath as my little friend, right? Your breath is with you from the moment that you're born to the moment that you die. It's what sustains your physical body, bringing oxygen and traveling that good oxygen, that like refreshing life force through your body every time you inhale and every time you exhale, getting rid of all of the toxic stuff, everything that you don't need. So taking that a step further from the actual science of it to a metaphor, right? Every time we inhale, it's an opportunity to bring in something new, and every time we exhale, it's an opportunity to let go of something that's maybe feeling a little bit less positive. So the first technique I want to talk about today is alternate nostril breathing, or Nadi Shohana. This is something that is used traditionally in yoga practice, but also in therapy offices across the globe and in home practices, where we deal with bringing calm to our bodies. The way that it works is that we're forcing the oxygenation of our blood to our brain to travel from the right to the left side of our brain, and therefore the right and left side of our body, constantly throughout the process, versus the way our brain and our body wants to do it, which is switching the dominant side after a period of time. So this helps us to calm and relax. So the way we do this is you take your fingers. It can be, traditionally it's thumb and middle finger, I believe, but I tend to go with thumb and first finger because for me that feels more comfortable, so I'm not spending all of my time being focused on how my hands feel. Rather, I'm spending my time being focused on the work itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug our right nostril with our thumb. Left finger is open for the moment. We're going to close our eyes. Inhale through the left nostril, and then we're going to close our left nostril. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close the right nostril. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close that nostril, exhale through the right. And you just want to keep going with that. Do it for like 90 seconds if you can. And once you get in the rhythm, and you will get into the rhythm without me yapping at you, you'll find those effects immediately. I wish that I had like a little light bulb that could go science every time we go through one of these, because all three of these techniques are really backed by science and helping our bodies switch from the fight or flight response to the rest and digest response, which helps us to release anxiety feelings. So alternate nostril breathing, that's technique number one. Keep it in your pocket, use it anytime. It's a great one for if you're alone at home and if you're just needing to quiet down those feelings, right? And you don't have to worry about, I'm out in public, why am I pinching my nose? Also, if you're saying to yourself, lady, that could have been really scary if I was on a Zoom call instead of in a video watching situation because I've got a cold or seasonal allergies, you're not alone. So we want to give you more options too, right? So second option is called box breathing. This is one that's very commonly used in law enforcement and military applications, as well as in meditation and therapeutic environments. So in box breathing, what we do is we inhale for 4 breaths. Some techniques say shorter, some techniques say longer. I feel like 4 feels like a good middle ground for me. So you inhale for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause at the top, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. So let's all close our eyes and do that a few times together. I'll count it off for you. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause at the top, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause at the top, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. So that one is awesome. Really good. Again, science, right? So the third and final technique I want to go through today is the most passive of all of them. You can do this anytime. You can do it with your eyes open or closed. No one has to know you're doing it. It's really good if you are, say, in a class, like a Zoom class or a meetup class or a meeting or something, and you're feeling those feelings start to come on, or maybe you're feeling like kind of thrown because it's an odd environment. You don't feel professional, or you don't feel whatever. We all have those moments. So home, obviously home now, but publicly via a live video or by yourself, eyes open or closed, you can always do this one. And all we're going to do simply is make our breaths nice and long and slow, and make our exhales a little longer than our inhales. And this is a signal to the body again to move into that rest and digest. This one is perfect, and we're gonna bring this back when in a later video when we do a long meditation, because this is a beautiful meditative breath. It really helps us relax. So if you want to, if you feel comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. I'm going to. It helps me focus. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start making our breath nice and long and slow. What I like to do is focus, again, like we were talking about at the beginning, on the inhale, bringing in something good, and on the exhale, releasing something we don't need. So for me, I'm going to inhale and relax the muscles of my face. And exhale, I'm going to let my shoulders drop, releasing that tension. And that's going to be my rhythm. And once I get that rhythm going, I'm going to see if I can count a little bit and count my exhales a little longer than my inhales. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We just keep that going. So what I would love to do is encourage you to use any of these practices, all of these practices. You can do them in conjunction. You can do a little at a time, whatever you need to do. When you run through this video again, we noted the beginning where we moved from the introduction to the first breath technique, that alternate nostril breathing, right? I would say if I were you, what I would do if I was planning on coming back to the video is just maybe like make a little note on my phone or on my notepad on the side of my desk of the time code for when each technique starts. So if you want to come back, if there's one that you've got a favorite but you don't feel confident doing it yourself yet, just come back. And then I always like to end any breathing I do, anything like that, with a little moment of inhaling and exhaling, feeling my feet or my butt, if I'm sitting, anchor down into the ground. So feel your weight drop through your feet or drop through your sit bones, and it helps your body feel anchored. And from there, I always take a moment and think of one thing, one specific thing that I feel grateful for in that moment. And that also helps. Not only does that help us on so many levels, we know that a gratitude practice helps us, but it helps us to just be pulled out of that sort of riptide and brought into a place where we're reminded that there are things that are stable and good and okay. And one of those things is you. I'm so happy that you joined me today. I'm so happy that we could be together, and I'll look forward to seeing you in our next visit. Have a wonderful day. Bye.